The water's cold.
It's a fjord. You're not going swimming.
Boo. You're such a wet blanket, teddy bear.
You know I don't like it when you call
Edward.
me...
Edward Charles Hardin, Esquire.
Will you promise to behave on land?
Don't I always?
Lissy, promise.
Oh, piffle and phonus balonus, Teddy. You ought to know better than to ask. Yes, I'll behave. I'll be a proper young lady. I shan't run or climb things or laugh too loud or call anyone old bean. Aside from you. So, do you think we'll find your Betty in, what did you call her?
She's there.
How can you know for sure?
She's my sister.
But how can you know?
I just do. In her letter, she wrote about...
But that's months ago. She could have gone anywhere.
Without writing or telegraphing her editor in New York, she wouldn't do that. Betty's...
Oh, the cat's pajamas, the bee's knees, Little Miss Perfect.
Alice, you're talking about my sister.
Fine. I'm sorry. Elizabeth Sidarb. We all love her dearly. And Teddy Bear. Edward. We will find her. Betty's fine. Why, we'll see her as soon as we get to shore. She'll shower you with kisses and berate you for coming all this way from Hanover, Massachusetts to the middle of absolutely nowhere Scandinavia way just to chase her down. Everything will be Jake, old fruit. Is that it? Is that Groovewoke? It looks so peaceful and beautiful and so desolate, like a place built for ghosts.
Finally. I don't think I could do this for much longer.
Can't you row any faster? I'm getting frightfully bored.
How about you take over, Alice?
You slay me, Teddy, old bean. Was that thunder?
Still distant. The boat will be in safe harbor by the time the weather arrives.
So you say. But I say put your back into it, because we're sitting ducks out here. Quack, quack. It's so quiet. Where is everyone?
Probably working. I know it's a foreign concept to you, but that's something normal people do.
Hardy har har.
The Fretland farm is up the hill somewhere.
Up where?
I believe it's that farmhouse, all the way at the top.
Hot dog! Let's ankle!
Hold on. Let me read the letter from Mrs. Fretland
I'll
first.
meet you up there, old sport.
Be careful.
I wanna explore.
The ground's muddy. You could slip and fall.
Where are you going? See you in 2 shakes.
Dear Mr. Hardin, we would like to extend an invitation to visit our home. Troubled to hear of your sister's disappearance. No news to share. You'll find our farm on top of the hill. I hope I got that right. Look forward to seeing you here in October. Yours faithfully, Anna Fretland. Well, I'm here. Where are you? Did you make it to Grovik, Betty? And why did you pick this forlorn hole under the mountains? Also sprach Zarathustra.
Teddy, are you coming? I'm almost there.
On my way. Righto. Step to it, teddy bear.
Where's the farm? Knock, knock. Who's it? Alice. Alice? Up where?
What took you so long?
I'm not 17.
Nor are you 70. Put some spring into your step, old sport.
Did you see the flag? It's at half-mast. Someone died.
So this is it, huh? Nice digs. But seriously, where is everyone?
Up in the mountains, maybe.
Herding goats? Are they goat herders? I took them more for fisher folk.
The rain's picking up. We should get indoors.
You first, old bean. Where's the farm?
Hello? Anyone there? Mr. Fretland? Mrs. Fretland? This is Edward Charles Harden, the American. We've exchanged letters.
Maybe they went on holiday and left the door open. Give it a shake and a rattle.
I can't just barge into their home.
It's not a crime if you're invited.
I'm coming in. This is Mr. Harden. Hello? Is anyone home?
Oh, this is nice. Charmingly rustic. The Boston Beaumont would pay a pretty penny for this setup. I thought foreigners lived differently. This is almost like an American home.
People are people wherever you go.
Thanks, Proust. Where's the farm? Up where? Oof, that's a grim sight, old bean.
I'm exhausted. And soaked to the bone.
Let's get you to bed.
Betty.
Have you gone screwy again, Teddy? That's not Betty.
Her
That's...
scarf. I'd know it anywhere.
It doesn't look like anything to me. It
She
just
bought it in
looks like...
Bloomingdale's the Christmas before last. When she came home that year, she showed it off, dancing around the sitting room until I got dizzy watching her.
I think you're misremembering. She couldn't make it home that year. Again.
No, you're wrong. I'm sure she was there.
What?
Look, it is her scarf. It even smells like her perfume. Shalimar.
But what if that's
She's
not...
here. I'm finally going to find her.
That's great, Edward, really. I wouldn't want you to get your hopes up. I mean, where's everyone gone to? Something's not right, I'm telling you. Teddy? Edward, what's wrong?
Lightheaded, that's all.
You're having another spell. You know what happens when you exert yourself. Sit down. That's an...
I just need to catch my breath. Just for a moment.
I want you to lie down. Lie down and close your eyes. It's been a strenuous day. What with the rowing and the dragging of the suitcase up the hill.
Well, what if the
I'll keep an eye out. I promise. If they come home, I'll wake you. Now, lie down, close your eyes, breathe deeply.
I'm just going to...
Shh. Where's the farm?
Elizabeth? Is that you? Betty? Lissy? Lissy, are you here? Hello? Hey, who's there? Betty? Elizabeth? Lissy, there's someone outside. It might be Betty. Are you here, Lissy? I can hear you! Someone there? Are you there, Betty? Betty, is that you? Oh! Elizabeth, are you there?
The boat, Edward! Where's our boat?
Lizzie! What about the boat?
It's gone.
The boat... What? How?
Maybe you didn't secure it properly.
I pulled it up. I don't know. I thought I tied it securely, but... Where did you go?
Out? For a walk. It stopped raining.
Did you see Betty?
Did I see... What are you talking about?
I think... Betty... It was Betty. It was her. It must have been her. I saw her face in the window, and she vanished into the dark towards the sea. You really didn't see anyone.
I haven't seen a single soul. Are you sure it was her? and
Yes.
Not...
I mean, I saw her face, and it looked like her.
Well, if it was her, why did she run away?
I don't know. It's getting dark. Back to the house. Then tomorrow.
Tomorrow's another day, Teddy Bear. We'll figure it out. Right now, let's get you cleaned up. Look at you. You've got mud all over yourself. And then you really need to sleep. You must be exhausted. Come on.
Teddy, come outside. It's a beautiful day.
I just about given up on you ever waking up. Sleep well?
I dreamed of Betty. She was in the garden, and she called for me.
Where are you going? How about you, Lissy dearest? Oh, you know me, old fruit, wide awake at first light.
The Fretlands didn't come home, did they?
Where are you going? Edward, I'm talking to you. They did not. There's no sign of anyone. Aside from last night's Mistwalker.
I've been thinking about that. It looked like Betty. I was so sure. She wouldn't have run away. It makes no sense. Perhaps it was no one. Just the night playing tricks.
Oh, there must be someone here. And I'm not talking about ghosts. Or goats. What was it you said yesterday? Maybe they're looking down on us from the mountaintops.
I'll take a gander. The Fretlands will be home soon. And Betty's here. I know it. I feel it.
If you say so, Teddy Bear. Where are you going? As I was saying. If you say so, Teddy Bear. Have you had your noodle juice yet?
I'm not rummaging through their cupboards.
You'll be a pill without your tea and toast, old bean. We need to get you sorted.
I'm not hungry. First point on the agenda. Find the natives.
A mission! Hot dog! I'll scout ahead. I'll meet you down by those houses.
Let's uncover your secrets, Grovik.
Up here, Ted. It's such a beautiful day. You could bottle and sell this air in Boston. It's frankly medicinal.
It's chilly.
That's all you have to say? It's chilly?
You're not cold.
Why would I be?
I thought you were scouting ahead.
Where are you going?
So, I thought you were scouting ahead.
What do you think I'm doing? Vantage point, like on a pirate ship. I can probably see our house in Hanover from here.
Did you check those buildings?
Knocking on doors isn't a scout's job, old bean.
Hello? Who? Hello? Anyone home? Did you see this door closing?
It was just the wind, Teddy Bear. You're as skittish as a pussycat. No one home?
Hello? Anyone here?
What? There's one more house. Third time's the charm.
Anyone home?
3 strikes, you're out.
I don't think anyone's been home for a while.
Where are you going?
I don't think anyone's been home for a while. Someone painted the word traitor on one of the doors.
Still think everyone's up in the mountains herding goats?
I saw some sheds down by the water. There's the general store, the church.
In other words, time for some sightseeing? Well, it's a bright and beautiful day, and we have nothing better to do.
What on earth are you doing?
Handstands, Teddy! My record is 2 minutes. I'm working on 3. Just go on ahead. I'll catch up. What if everyone turned into a pebble? What's this?
Remnants of the mining operation.
What, mine?
There was a mine here.
A boat! Teddy! A hot dog! How about we don't go back to Hanover and stay here instead?
And how would I survive?
Hunt? Our,
Applesauce.
why lock any doors? I can't imagine they have a problem with...
Is that? Lizzie, come here. It's Betty's hat. She was here. She could still be in there. Betty? Betty!
Are you sure, Edward? I mean, it's just a hat. Is it even a hat?
I
I'm not
know my
sure
sister's hat, Lizzie. I have to get inside.
What about the breaking and entering part?
I could care less what they call it. Here's an open window.
You seem eager to break the law. I approve.
It won't budge.
Don't be a milquetoast.
Well, it's stuck.
Attaboy, Teddy. You can do this.
I can't believe I'm actually breaking... Whoops, Daisy.
Oh my, Teddy. You're such a sap.
Edward Charles Harding,
Dilettante, world traveler, cat burglar.
A cat burglar would, by definition, enter a building on a higher
Jeez.
floor.
The state of this
Oh,
place.
Betty,
Edward,
I hope you weren't here when...
is this... blood?
Not necessarily human blood.
Well, that's all right then. What does it say? Barn murder? Someone murdered a barn?
Barn means child. And mortar, that's...
Child murderer. Edward, they murdered a child?
Someone thought so.
Probably the same someone who vandalized the store.
Barn means child. And mortar, that's...
Child murderer. Edward, they murdered a child?
Someone thought so.
Probably the same someone who vandalized the store. What are you doing?
Looking for keys. There's a note.
Is it written in Viking runes? What does it say?
It's from Simon. Casa. I don't know what that word means. Yai put it means I put. Nurkel is key.
He put the key in the casa?
Casa. I wish I had my dictionary. The note's addressed to his father.
So the key was moved. But where to?
Somewhere safer. Or more convenient.
Can we really trust your translations? You only started studying a month ago.
I spent the Casa.
So that's what it means. Cash register. You're a genuine gangster now, old fruit. Don't worry. If you get busted, I'll come visit. Wasn't there supposed to be a key?
Here it is. It is her hat.
Teddy, I'm not
Betty
sure
was
that's...
here. And not long ago.
Okay, but if that is her hat, what's it doing in a locked storeroom?
Another breadcrumb.
That's not an answer.
I know for sure she was here. That's what matters.
You know best, Edward. So, what now? If this is a breadcrumb, where's the next one?
There must be a reason her hat's in this room.
What's that?
A handwritten note.
I'm not blind. What does it say, you silly goose?
It's hard to read. I'm not sure my translation will be... Johann, you... Nectar. Refuse. You refuse to speak to me, so I write this letter instead. It's from Frederick Fretland to his brother. Simon did not... Bloody hell. Simon did not murder your Ruth. He was fond of his cousin.
Ruth. Ruth is the daughter of Anna and Johann, which means the little girl in the photograph at the farmhouse. Oh, Edward. The Fretland girl was murdered. This is simply awful.
Simon was working at the farm while I tended to the store. I would have seen him had he passed on the way up to the cliffs.
They thought Simon killed Ruth. His own cousin.
Ruth was... what's that word? Playing. Ruth was always playing on the rocks below the church. She must have fallen by accident. The note ends there. Frederick never finished it. And Johann never read it. Not that it would have made a difference. If Johann thought...
The mob showed up for Simon. His father would have tried to protect him.
September 17th. You would have been here, Betty.
Rocks below the church. Isn't the church right above us? Edward, come look at this. That's the cliff. Right there. The one in the note? I bet you 1,000,000 clams.
Where?
See for yourself.
I guess that could be where...
Let's check it out.
No, Lissy, wait.
This way. Teddy, up here.
I found it, Teddy. The cliff. I'm standing right below it.
What are you doing? This doesn't concern
The
us.
little girl died. We're staying in her home, for God's sake. Are you completely without heart? Get...
Whoops-a-daisy. What is this?
Where little Ruth died.
You're being morbid. And this is a distraction. I'm here for Betty, not because some girl
Edward.
got herself...
You insensitive brute. You're like the Tin Woodman, no heart. You know, you've grown cold and mean in that horrid study of yours. With only books and bugs... please look at me when I'm talking to you. Alright. You know, you've grown cold and mean in that horrid study of yours. With only books and bugs to keep you company for years and years and years. There are other people in this world, you know. It's not all about you. You're going to do this. If not for Ruth, then for us. We're going to figure out what happened to the poor girl. Together. Is that blood?
The girl could have hit her head on that rock. There would have been plenty of blood.
That's awful. I think there's something behind it. Can you move the rock aside? It must be Ruth's.
Where's the head?
Maybe the killer also decapitates dolls.
Hold on. This pin. This is old. Very old. Looks like something from the Viking era.
We are in the land of Vikings.
This could be 1,000 years old. It does not belong in a child's doll.
Who cares? Ruth is dead and you're obsessing about a rusty old pin? Let's go further up. Maybe we'll find more clues. Come on, old sport. It's not far.
Can you wait just 1 minute so that I can catch my breath? Huh. Did you follow the same path, Betty? Or am I just...
You can see clear beyond the edge of the world. Right. It is awfully chilly.
One
Oh,
second.
Teddy Bear. We need to take you out walking more often.
So, the girl fell from up here.
Was pushed, you mean. Can you see where she fell?
If she fell head first on that rock, she'd have died instantly.
Edward, honestly.
You wanted to learn more. This is you learning more. She hit her head and fell into the bush where I found her doll. Happy now, Alice?
I'm not. What was she doing up here in the first place?
Playing? She was a child. Children play in dangerous places.
There must be more to it. Let's find out where this path leads.
No, absolutely not. I don't have time for this nonsense. We're running out of daylight, and Betty's still... You're still out there. Lissy, slow down. I can't keep up with you. Who knows what's up there? It's not worth the risk of falling and breaking something. Lissy?
Teddy,
My word. Look away, Lissy.
is this what happened to the villagers? They killed themselves?
It's one body. Let's not jump to conclusions.
Ugh, this is just ghastly. What does that say?
God forgive me.
Don't suicides go to hell? Isn't that what your father said when
Stop.
your mother
Don't.
drowned herself? Sorry. Do you think this has something to do with Ruth? Maybe she came across the hanged man before she died, and it scared her. So she ran, and
This happened later.
there's some consolation in that, I guess. Maybe it's the killer. The guilt ate him up, and he offed himself.
That's just speculation with no basis in fact.
Who was he? One of the Fretlanders?
It's not Johann or Frederick. And he's too old to be Simon. There's nothing more to do here. I'm going back. Let the poor soul rest in peace.
Does it look like he's resting in peace? You're just going to leave him hanging? You're an insensitive brute.
I'm here for Betty. It's tragic, but really none of my
Oh,
concern.
Betty, always just Betty. You don't care about anyone else. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Anyway, what if that was me up there? Would you care then? All you do is obsess over a scarf and a hat and ugh.
It's all I have of Betty.
Betty, there she is again. Edward, the Hanged Man, he's someone. No matter what he did or didn't do, he deserves respect. Would you please just do this one decent deed? If not for me, then for yourself. Or for your Betty.
I'm going to be sick. I can't do this.
Yes, you can. Teddy. Edward. I know you can. You've been through much worse. Where are the Fretlands, Edward?
It's been 2 days. If they're not back tonight...
They're not coming back.
Perhaps they left after their daughter died.
Was murdered, you mean? Isn't that what we think happened?
Perhaps she fell by accident.
So you don't think it was murder?
It's difficult to say with any certainty. The boy could have pushed her.
You're really not helping.
Can we talk about this tomorrow? I'm sorry.
You're exhausted.
I buried a corpse today, Alice.
I know. I'm sorry. Why don't you sleep in the guest bedroom?
The couch is fine. The Fretlands could still come home.
All right. Just don't come crying to me if you wake up with a crick in your neck. I'll be up for a while, if you feel like talking. What are you doing?
Betty will want these back.
I don't think it's healthy
Not now,
to...
please. I'm exhausted.
Quite the day, huh?
I'm ready to pass out. Where will you sleep?
I'll be up for a while. My mind's simply racing.
Don't stay up late. Wake me if you hear the Fretlands arriving.
Of course. And I'll keep my eyes open for any ghosts that might want to haunt you in your sleep.
There are no...
Hush now. Sleep.
Teddy? Is that you? I'm upstairs.
This is her room.
Hmm?
Are you paying attention? Ruth. Can you imagine? One moment you're living a perfectly happy life, and then... nothing. Darkness. Forever and ever. Maybe there's something here that can tell us what happened to her.
This is a waste of my time.
We might be the only ones left to tell her story, Edward.
You're just being melodramatic. I'll help you look.
Ruth was an artist.
This is very primitive.
Have you ever met a child, Edward? She wasn't Monet, she was 8. Ruth never finished this. What does that spell? F-O-R-B.
For Banelson. The curse.
Who's that figure supposed to be? It's creepy.
A figment of her imagination. But the box she drew. It looks like this box under her desk.
Really? Let me see. Pull it out. What is this?
I believe this might qualify as actual treasure.
Is that Norwegian money?
Sort of, but ancient. Viking coins.
Are they valuable?
Not in terms of monetary value, but historically. Well, they belong in a museum.
Looks like Ruth had her own private museum.
Why would a child have these artifacts?
She must have enjoyed collecting and playing with them.
These are much too precious to play with. She should have given these to an adult.
She was a child, Edward. To her, they were just shiny toys. Wait! The pin. On the doll.
This is where it came from. Her collection.
But where did she find these treasures?
A dig, a grave site. Wherever she found them, she wanted to keep them hidden.
You think someone found out?
These items wouldn't necessarily be worth much, except to a historian or archaeologist.
What if this is how... I mean, if someone learned she'd been collecting treasures, they might be willing to do terrible things. That must be Ruth and Simon's fathers.
Perhaps. They weren't on the best of terms.
They look like they want to kill each other.
To a child, maybe it looked worse than it was.
Children are more insightful than you give them credit for, Teddy Bear. She found something.
Where's that supposed to be?
The cave. Or the...
Mine. It could be. But what did she find?
Her Viking treasure. Of course. This must be the village church. That's Ruth and her family on one side of the aisle. Simon and his father on the other.
A community divided.
There's a story here. The treasure box, the drawings.
The overactive mind of an imaginative child.
Well, she didn't imagine the Viking artifacts. You shouldn't be so dismissive. The drawings could be her way of dealing with traumatic events.
This is what happens when I read you the principles of psychology. You get notions.
You say that like it's a bad thing. Ruth was troubled. The village was troubled, and... Is that a bell?
The church bell. Someone's here. Maybe... Betty.
Why would Betty ring the church bell?
Perhaps she's in trouble. I need to get to the church right now. I told you, I'm not sure that was anything. Come on.
All these fresh graves.
Why boredom?
Gone fishing?
God is not here.
Well, of course he isn't. You won't find God in a church. God is the wind in the trees, the grass between your toes, the brook that runs
That's
through...
nature, not God.
Who did this?
Someone who'd lost their faith.
Can you peek through the boards? See anyone?
No,
Listen! The bell! They're still in there!
heard the bell!
This is giving me the
I'm here to help.
heebie-jeebies.
These boards look flimsy enough to break.
Look at that. The Ethel becomes an Edward. Didn't think you had it in you, old fruit.
Be quiet. Betty? Are you here? Hello? This is Edward Harden. I'm looking for my sister,
Stop
Elizabeth.
shouting, Edward. We're alone. There are only...
Lissy, look. Betty's gloves. They are definitely Betty's.
Oh, for
She
Pete's
got
sake.
these in Boston before she left for New York. She bought them at Woolworth. I remember the day she... She's here.
Where? And why would she leave her clothes lying around? It doesn't make
Breadcrumbs.
sense.
She's sending me a message. She knew I'd recognize her gloves, her hat. She's left a trail for me to follow, like Ariadne's red thread.
We're not in a
Betty
labyrinth.
would have left more crumbs.
Betty, you're turning into such a pill. What happened here?
The sign on the door. God, the church book, a record of births and deaths.
So we can find out what happened to the people in the village?
And Elizabeth. I mean, if she was dead...
Her name would be in the book.
Vandals. Tore it to pieces.
I don't think the missing pages left the church. Look. How many pages are missing?
I counted 4.
They're probably all still here. I know. Let's make it a competition. 1-0 to Team Me. I wanted you to find that one. I know what a rotten loser you are. You found another one? Just one more page missing.
What are you doing? We're in...
Found another one. You get it. It's right here. 2 for 2. A tie. Good job, Teddy,
Stop,
old bean.
Lissy. This is not a game. Betty's out there.
Of course, Feathers. Stop being so gosh darn tedious, Edward. Bitty, will you ever
This book goes back years. It lists births and deaths. Here's the 3rd Fretland brother. The one who died in the cave-in. Someone added the word for Banelson, probably quite recently.
What does that mean again?
Curse. That word is all over this book. Not just the men who died in the mine, but other deaths in the last 20 years.
Ruth's drawing also mentioned a curse. What do you think it means?
I don't know. There were surprisingly few births.
Perhaps they blame that on the curse as well.
Look here. Ruth Elsa Fretland. She was buried in the cemetery. And the next entry, Simon Fretland. Now this is interesting.
Simon is dead? Oh, that's dreadful.
He drowned the day after Ruth died. Probably no coincidence. See what's scribbled next to it?
Mord?
Murder.
Who killed him? Ruth's father? Or the mob that trashed the store?
It doesn't say. After the children, a half-dozen deaths in a single week.
The curse.
It's listed as the cause for every single death.
Maybe there really was a curse.
Primitive superstition. But something changed after Ruth and Simon. It might explain why there's no one around.
Edward, if it killed everyone, how's that not a curse? What does that word say? Next to those names at the bottom. For a
Traitor.
Edward? What's wrong?
The final entry. There's no name. Alice, what if...
Oh, Edward, no.
Betty,
It doesn't mean she's...
she's not dead. She can't be. I know.
Teddy.
I need to see the grave for myself. It's not Betty. Betty's still alive.
Teddy? Where are you going? Don't leave me! Edward!
This one. It's unmarked.
What are you doing? Have you gone completely mad? Edward, stop it!
You better not be here, Betty. I'll never forgive you. Thank God. It's not her. It's not Betty. It's not her.
Oh, Edward. What have you done?
It's not Elizabeth. I was so afraid.
You're a monster.
But I had to be sure. If Betty...
To hell with your Betty! When did she ever shed a tear for you?
Don't talk about my baby sister
Or
like
what?
that.
Or what, Edward? What will you do? Ignore us? Banish us? You've spent your entire life chasing her. When are you going to do something useful with what's left of it?
Quiet! Just leave me be.
Fine.
Lizzie? Alice? Come back. Don't leave me alone. Please. Come back. I need you. I was afraid you left me. Now listen to me. No! Lizzie. Hey. Lizzie, please listen to me. I didn't mean what I said.
Everything's always about Betty.
I care about you both.
Until it really matters. Then it's obvious to me.
I thought she was dead.
I quit.
Please, talk to me.
What's there to talk?
You can't keep running away from me.
Do you think you own me? That you control me? That you get to decide how I feel and what I do every minute of every day? That I'm just a little thing? Well, fuck you, Edward Charles Harden! I never should have come here with you on this pointless chase!
Now, be reasonable. What are you doing?
What I should have done years ago. Maybe now you'll learn to appreciate us.
Now listen to me. Please, listen. Hear me out. Don't do this. You can't do this to me. I need you. I'm not whole without you. I can't lose you. I can't live without you. Don't, please, don't, no. What? No! Oh, Alice. What have you done? Please, be all right. Please, don't.
You make me sick, Edward. Your mother and father would be ashamed. Elizabeth would be ashamed. They did not think you deserved their love, so they abandoned you.
Don't.
Oh, my child. We are all that you have, and we love you. We are here. With us, you are never alone. Do not forget.
No, Never. I never forget. I am never alone.
Wake up, Edward. Stop hiding. Where you go, we go, Edward. You cannot hide from us.
Where's Lissy?
Alice is not here.
Bring her back. Please. I need her.
Alice does not love Elizabeth like you do.
She loves me.
Not like I do, Edward.
I'm so tired. Please.
What do you want?
I think of you so often. You have no idea.
You just want me to forgive you so that we can keep looking for your precious, perfect Betty.
She needs us.
She never needed you, Teddy Bear. And she certainly doesn't need us.
I can't find her on my own.
Well, it's just too bad, my darling Edward. Because we're done playing second fiddle to little sis.
Wait, don't go. I'm talking to you, Lissy. Oh. Lissy, please listen. You can't keep vanishing on me.
Try me.
Why are you so angry?
You do not know anger, Edward.
Did you ever meet my father?
Alice does not want to speak with you.
And what about you? Are you going to help me?
God helps those who help themselves.
I don't need God's help. I need Lissy.
Do you, though? Did you ever?
What? Of course, I... Don't go. Hear me out. Alice, I depend on you both.
You can never depend on other people, Edward.
I'm not sure you count as other people.
Everyone leaves, one way or another.
You don't. You can't.
Is that a challenge?
Stop playing games.
Are you ordering me, Teddy Bear?
I'm asking you.
Didn't your father always tell you to stand up for yourself? To be a real man and not a sissy? Maybe that's why he put the gun to his head and pulled the trigger. Kaboom! He was so disappointed about what his only son had turned into.
You're a monster.
Takes one to know one. Old fruit.
I gave you this jacket. You were here. Lissy, I'm tired of chasing you. I'm trying to talk to you. Alice, be reasonable. Lissy, look. Her jacket. I'm sure it wasn't here yesterday,
Jesus
which means
Christ,
Betty was
Teddy.
here. Perhaps when we were out yesterday.
Betty,
she must have...
Betty, 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 Betty.
You love Betty more than you love us. But don't you see? What has Betty done that we haven't? What can she do that we cannot? We've always been there for you. Why do you keep looking for her?
She's real. You're not.
So?
What? You decide what is real. We are real to you.
It will never be the same.
She does not want you.
Who are you talking
Why
about?
do you think Betty left? She was sick and tired of us. She wanted to escape.
Like Mother.
Drowning herself because she couldn't stand being around us.
Like Father.
Bang! Right in the coconut.
Stop.
You drive them all away, Edward. All into death.
Not us. We're always here for
I
you.
beg you.
You are never alone.
Stop! Leave me alone, both of you!
You want to be alone?
You really want to be alone?
Fine. You're alone.
For good.
Elizabeth! Is that you? Betty? Betty! Are you in there? Open the door! I'm coming in! Stand away from the door! Betty? No! No, 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 no! Oh. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I thought it was you, Betty. But who? Anna. It's from Johann, addressed to his wife. Did you notice the handwriting, Betty? He was clearly distraught. Knock ere knock. Enough is enough. After decades of strife, I pray that God will, Tilly, forgive me. I am tired of secrets. For 20 years I've kept my silence about our discovery, but my silence has only led to misfortune, and my cowardice has only led to death. I will make Frederick pay for what he has done to us, for what they have done to our Ruth. When it is over, I will let the ocean take me to you and Ruth. May God forgive me. Anna was already dead when he wrote this. He had no one else to confess to. What now, Betty? Johann went to confront his brother, probably at Frederick's farm. And then? You said this was a gift from another unlucky suitor. It was precious to you. You wouldn't have left it here unless... a signpost. A breadcrumb. You followed Johann to Frederick Fretland's farm, and then to the mine. You wouldn't let this go, Betty. You'd follow your story to the end. All the way to the end. You to this place. All these fragments. You'd piece them together into a story, wouldn't you, Betty? So, what do we know? Johann and Frederick are partners, and on good terms. But something happens in the mine. Disagreements lead to a falling out. And at the end of it all, 20 years later, Johann walks this path to confront Frederick. Was this your doing, Johann? Did you burn your brother's farm to the ground? And where were you, Betty? Did you witness their fall? Simon's grave. Born December 5th, 1909, died September 17th, 1923. Why bury Simon here and not at the cemetery? the village blamed him for Ruth's death. I could really use your imagination, Betty. You'd figured this out in no time. What do you reckon, Betty? Let's try Simon's birthday. Another Viking artifact, Betty. Most likely from the same treasure Ruth found. Postmarked in Boston. That's a curious coincidence. Dear Frederick, I hope this letter, it's in English, Betty. Hope this letter finds you and the boy in good health. We're concerned about you both. No word from you for almost 2 years now. All of us still heartbroken about Margaret's passing. We know things have been difficult for you and Simon. Mr. Fretland, we expect you to take care of this problem. If the discovery is made public, the authorities will intervene and the mine will be shut down. Should this happen, we will consider it a breach of our contract, and we will withdraw our investment. You and your brother will be responsible for all debts and losses. Johann must be convinced to wall up the chamber. We have already dealt with the worker who made the discovery. The Fretland Mining Company. I wonder what this unlocks. You went to the mine. I hope our guardian angel watched over you. All right, Betty. Johann and Frederick discover something in the mine. A cave or chamber of archaeological value. They argue about what to do. If the discovery is made public, it's the end of their enterprise. Johann is convinced or paid to walk away. Their secret stays hidden. Then, a few months later, the accident. 3 men die. The investors pull out. The mine shuts down. Frederick's up to his neck in debt. So, the Fretland feud tears the village apart, setting neighbor against neighbor. And then, Ruth stumbles across the secret in the mine. After all this time, the truth may finally come to light, but she dies. And the day after, Simon is murdered. It's a catalyst. Old grievances resurface. No matter who you stand with, you're a traitor. Things escalate. More people die. From disease, despair, suicides, murder. All because of the mine. Because of what they found there. And what they covered up. There was no one to stop it, Betty. They were alone. That's the real curse of Grovik. Isolation. Ruth was here, the day she fell. Something spooked her, and then she ran, all the way to the cliff where... Do you know what happened, Betty? Did you witness it? Hello? Betty, are you in there? Please answer me. This is Mother's brooch. You always wore this. You wouldn't take it off unless... You left it here for a reason. What am I not seeing?
Edward! Edward!
Betty? Elizabeth? Is that you?
Edward? Where are you?
I'm on my way, Betty. Wait for me.
Edward!
Stay where you are. I'm coming.
Edward! Where are you?
I'm on my way.
Edward, please! Hurry!
I'm coming, Betty.
Edward!
I'm almost there.
Edward! Edward?
Just stay put.
Edward! Oh, Edward! Hurry!
I'm coming.
Edward, is that you? I'm in here.
Thank God. Thank God. Elizabeth! There you are. Finally. You have no idea how long I've been looking for you. You had me so worried. I... Look. Your brooch. Mother's brooch. You must have lost it at the mine. Let me put it on for you, Betty. I wouldn't want you to lose it again.
She's been dead for 30 years, Edward. Elizabeth was never here. But we didn't come for her. We came for Johann, and Anna, and Frederick, and Simon, and Ruth. We're here to tell their stories.
No. Elizabeth. She's here.
You know Betty died when she was a baby. She drowned in the pond. And you found her. You were just 11. You carried her to your mother. And your mother...
She hated you for that.
She could never forgive you for bringing her baby to her. And you could never forgive yourself for what she did after. You always forget this. Because you don't want to be alone. So you bring Betty back. Again and again. To New York. To Boston. To the house. but always just out of reach. Never quite there. The scent of her, the echo of her, but never really her. And all it does is make you lonelier. But the thing is, Edward, you're never alone.
You have us.
And you'll always have us. Betty's... She was never there for you. She couldn't be. You can't lose us. We're a part of you.
Forever. And ever. And ever.
But you need to let Betty go now. There's not room for all of us in there.
I couldn't save you, Elizabeth. I'm so sorry. It is as painful to wake from a vision as it is to be born anew. Lissy!
Outside, Teddy. There. Are you up?
Come outside. It's a... Had your noodle juice yet?
I might be weaned off this stuff.
Boo. Don't lose your taste for tea, old fruit. It keeps you human. We have unfinished business.
We do?
The final piece of the puzzle.
Ruth.
Come on. Let's go back to where it started. We have an appointment with a ghost. Such an amazing view, isn't it? And the air. Ugh. Why did we come here, Teddy?
To Grovik. Well... to find my sister.
But Betty's not. She was never here. It doesn't make sense.
Some places have gravity.
What are you saying? Gravewick's gravity pulled us across the Atlantic Ocean?
Grovik. No, I'm not saying that. That's irrational.
But you believe it, don't you? That we were summoned to tell their story.
The letter to Frederick.
The one you found in his safe. From Boston.
I may have overheard a conversation somewhere, paid it no attention, but the name stuck. And Betty... and I spun a story around it that put us on this path.
Do you really believe that? I mean, how often are you around people?
I'm a man of science. I don't know what to believe.
And yet, here we are. All three of us.
Is this what you wanted to show me?
I wanted to be close to her. Do you believe in ghosts, Edward?
You know I don't.
Well, you've been chasing one for years.
That's different.
What about me? Us.
You're not ghosts, you're alive.
Fair enough. So what really happened to Ruth?
I believe it was an accident.
How? What happened?
Your guess is as good as mine.
All right, she ran from the mine and came here. And then... was she afraid? What made her run?
Something spooked her.
And she panicked. So she ran here. Why not home? She couldn't go home. Or she didn't want to. She felt safe here. This was her happy place. And then... if only Ruth had wings, like an angel, she could have flown straight to heaven. I hope she's at peace. one with God. Do you think that's where everyone's gone?
Heaven? They're dead. I don't know what that means. Maybe there is more. I can't stop you from hoping. We'll never know what happened to everyone in Grovik.
We tried our best. We'll remember them. All of them. Maybe that will give them some peace in the afterlife. Could this be your book, Edward? The one you've been wanting to write? A story about people who are isolated, left behind by the world. You can give them all a proper ending, with no annoying loose threads. Edward, is that...
A boat? But how?
Who cares? Let's catch it before it sets out on another adventure.
I don't understand how this can be. It must have been the wind.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, Teddy Bear. Let's blouse, while the weather's still good.
I need my suitcase.
So get a wiggle on, old boy. I'm going to say my goodbyes to all the kids. I don't think we'll meet you at the house.
My goodness. Righty-ho. No rush. We have all day.
Come on, Teddy. Pack your things. I'll meet you by the boat.
Do you never sit still?
Don't be a wet blanket. Let's make like the wind and get out of here. Come on, let's go. Row, Teddy, row. The water's still cold.
It's a fjord, Lissy, and it's almost winter.
There'll be snow when we get back to Hanover.
The house will be warm.
Are we going to be all right, Edward?
I think so.